Before making the move to Oakville, Ontario, make sure you watch this video to best determine where are the best and worst neighborhoods for you and your family. What are the major pros and cons about living in Oakville, as well as just the transportation, the local roadways, as well as the schools, the shopping options available to you and your family when living here. So if you're new here, my name is Matthew. I'm a local realtor, and this channel is all about what it's like living in Hamilton and the surrounding cities like Oakville. So if you are interested in making a move here, send me and my team a message today to book your free relocation consult call where we can jump on Zoom and go into detail on the map, on the active listings of everything you need to know in more detail. But for now, let's just jump on in and talk about Oakville overall and what you can expect when living here. So before we jump on into the Oakville exactly, let's make sure you understand where Oakville is. So Oakville's a part of the Greater Toronto area. So you have Toronto over here. Where Oakville is really bordering is Mississauga, which is right here. Essentially, it kind of cuts in like this is what Mississauga is off this side. And then you have Burlington off to this side. So this little kind of corridor right here is Oakville. Now, if we take a zoom into Oakville first and foremost, and we look at where exactly you can expect and how Oakville breaks down, there's going to be really three primary Oakville areas that really breaks down to just general broad strokes. I mean, there's a lot other neighborhoods within each of these neighborhoods here, but the first area of Oakville you're going to often hear people talk about is South Oakville. Now, what I define South Oakville as, and most people do define South Oakville as, is really anything that is south of the 403 QEW. So that includes neighborhoods like Bronte, Southwest, West Oakville, the old part of Oakville, Central Oakville, Morrison as well. Some of the here, you're going to find some of the most coveted neighborhoods to go move to. One, because this is where you're going to find the waterfront properties. You're going to have those large estates. Two, you have like the Oakville downtown area right here, offering you a lot of great different local shops and restaurants to go walk to within your doorstep. A few condo options to choose from within this area here as well. That's going to be a short drive. There's not that many high-rises buildings that you're going to be finding in Burlington, in Mississauga, or Toronto, as Oakville has really tried to keep the identity of the town of Oakville. Therefore, they tend to limit the amount of high-rise buildings that are in the southern part of Oakville. Now, we'll dive on a bit more into the southern part of Oakville in a second, but the next area of Oakville you want to be really aware of is kind of the central corridor of Oakville. And this was really the second development period, and it's really anything that is south of Upper Middle Road, which is the road I'm just drawing on right here, and north of the QEW. So this is going to have some of the coveted neighborhoods like the Glen Abbey neighborhood, as well as College Park, where you're going to find Sheridan College just over in this area here, to Floggerwood. Now, these tend to be here, like if you're looking for a detached home, depending on the neighborhood you're looking at, some of the more affordable neighborhoods in Oakville. Now, with that said, Oakville is still an expensive spot to buy, no matter where you're looking, as per average sale price, Oakville leads the GTA in highest sale price. Then the final area you need to know about Oakville, just generally speaking, is North Oakville. So that really is anything north of Upper Middle, but especially when people are talking about North Oakville, they're talking about anything that is really north of this Dundas Road right here. And this is where you're going to find the newest development options. Now, what are the advantages, the disadvantages of living in South Oakville versus North Oakville? Well, really, it's going to be the time periods they're built in and the houses that come along because of it. So anything South Oakville, what you're mainly going to find are detached homes and condos. I mean, you're going to find a few small pockets of townhomes to choose from. However, the vast majority of townhomes aren't going to be found within this pocket here. Then as for what you're looking for, if you're looking for those older homes are going to be found really within the southern part of Oakville as well, like built in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. A lot of side splits, a lot of back splits, a lot of bungalows are going to be found in the southern part of Oakville. Now, one of the advantages I know my clients absolutely love about the southern part of Oakville is some of these older homes, especially those ones that are a bit smaller but sit on large size lots because they were developed when land was a bit more easily accessible in Oakville. You're going to have a larger backyard, and that also comes with a lot more custom projects and custom builders coming in, knocking down those older homes and putting up brand new mansions and custom built homes. And for that reason here, like especially if we kind of zoom on in and we look at like just quickly into it, like if you look at like the southwest area, Bronte area over here as well, the southwest area, what you're going to find is a mixture of those older homes as well as those custom built homes. And it's absolutely amazing if you want those old growth trees, large backyards, a lot of waterfront parks that are pretty much within walking distance no matter where you live. And this is going to be some of the most premium real estate to be found, as like some of the highest real estate sold is going to be in the southwest part, which is kind of right here, is going to be one area where you're going to find some estate mansions. The other area that you're really going to find a lot of different great options, especially if you're looking for very private lots, is the Morrison area, otherwise known as Sinclair Parkway. It's kind of right along this way here. This is going to be some of the most expensive real estate. And actually, it goes all the way down here to Lakeshore as well. Amazing homes to choose from if you ever get a chance to go just drive through and look at them as well. But other than that, like when you're living in the southern part of Oakville, few other things you're going to notice. So like I mentioned, you're going to have that downtown core really right here as well. It's going to have great shopping options. But like Oakville's a bit funny in the sense that it doesn't really have like the busiest downtown area like Burlington, like Mississauga, but it's got smaller pockets. So the downtown core is definitely one area you'd want to check out if you're looking for like a day. There are a lot of the events that happen within Oakville, happen within that area there. But also, like, you have another area, which is like Bronte Village right here with the Bronte Waterfront Park. You have Bronte Beach as well. So I know a lot of my friends and family that absolutely love living in this area here. You're gonna find slightly, depends on how close you are to the water, right? Like the closer you get to the water, the more expensive the real estate is. But if you go further up, you can find a bit more affordable real estate, especially if you're looking at those older homes. But here you're gonna get easy walking distance to many different restaurants. Also, just recently finished up is there's a large not shopping center. Well, there is a large shopping center as well, but that's not just what's recently been finished. What's recently been finished is a large condominium building right here, giving a lot of great opportunity for people that are looking to enter to the real estate market within Oakville. Then also, when you're just living in like the southern part of Oakville, a few other things that you're going to notice when you're living here or go visit, besides like the waterfront park at Bronte, is you have Queen Elizabeth Park and Community Center. This is a large, used to be a school at one point. Now it's converted into like a 130 room community center that has everything from rock climbing to dance lessons to a fitness center to a variety of soccer fields, baseball diamonds, to go check out on a weekend or weekday as well. Then if we kind of move on this way over here, oh, before we forget, there's two main GO stations that are really in Oakville. This is going to have one of them right here in the Bronte GO station. So if you are thinking about commuting to Toronto on a regular basis, would highly recommend taking the GO train here. The other GO train station you're going to find really in Oakville is going to be in the next part, which is kind of over here in the central part of Oakville. And if we just kind of go on here, that'll be right along where we August 8. Nope, it needs to be moved up a little bit more. Here's the GO train station right over here. This is actually the second most busy GO train station in all the GTA, of just the amount of people from Oakville that are commuting into Toronto on a regular basis. So a lot of parking options to choose from. And typically speaking, when you're living in other parts of Oakville as well, this is tend to be where you'll drive down to and hop on the GO train station. So like I mentioned, you have like Tannery Park and Lakeside Park right in the downtown area. This whole street here is full of many different great local restaurants and small business shops that you could go and explore. But then if we just kind of head up here right along the QEW, one thing you are going to note is that you do have the Oakville Place right here, the only real shopping mall that is within Oakville, offering you a variety of different shops to go out, as well as a Good Life that I frequently visit. I personally love that Good Life because it has a steam room and not a lot of gyms that I can find in Burlington, Oakville, Hamilton for that matter, have a steam room, so it's a nice little addition there as well. But also, when you're living in this community here, not only can you find a lot of shops along this area right here, but then you're also going to have Kerr Village right here as well. That's going to offer a lot more different shops and restaurants. And also, there's going to be a decent amount of condo options to choose from. Really, in this like pocket right here is going to where you're going to notice, like when you're driving by, you're like, oh, what the heck's that? It's Kerr Village. Is exactly what that is there. Then other than that, like if you are into boating, I should mention is like there's a lot of different boat docks just kind of tucked into this cove here, or also in the Bronte Harbor over here. You're going to notice a lot of different boats that I know a lot of my Oakville residents and friends that have boats really enjoy going out to Lake Ontario and enjoying the day. Now, as for the schools, no matter where you live in Oakville, you're going to find some amazing schools. Like some notable ones that are in like the southern part of Oakville would be the Thomas A. Blakelock School. You have Appleby College, which is a private institution, which is, I know, world renowned for the education it offers. You also have St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic High School right here as well. So a lot of different options to choose from when you're living in the southern part of Oakville from a schooling point of view. Then if we kind of move up and we really look in the central corridor of Oakville, most of these homes here are really going to be built from like the 80s, a bit into the 70s and 80s as well, a little into the 90s. They really stopped the development in the early 2000s. First things first, if we start on the Glen Abbey side, you're actually going to notice a brand new development kind of in this section here. So if you're looking for a new home that's kind of close to the water, this is a great opportunity, especially because you have really 3 main highway entrances depending on where you are. So you got one right here popping on, one on third line. So this is Bronte's entrance. This is third line's entrance. You have the Trafalgar entrance over here. This is Dorval's highway entrance. And then this over here is like the Ford entrance. Now, these are really the primary ones you are going to notice. Now, one of the downsides about commuting via car when you are in Oakville is this tends to get back up. Now, it's not like Burlington. Burlington gets backed up a little bit more as it tends to be a bit more of a choke point. But nonetheless, if we zoom out here, and we take a peek, you can see that like right here, the QEW and the 403 meet and they kind of come together. So you're going to notice like the biggest bottleneck when you're driving in Oakville is going to be really along this 403 here. You're going to stop, see the Ford plant right here is really going to notice kind of that signaling. And then it kind of frees up and allows you kind of to float nicely. But depending on where you're living in Oakville, you can definitely get caught with that traffic. So I always recommend, like if you're commuting to Toronto, try to live on the more eastern side. Just shaves down 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of commute time, which definitely adds up if you're doing it both ways each day. But also within these areas here, you're going to find a few different neighborhoods. So first you got the Glen Abbey neighborhood over here, very popular, both with the community centers it offers and schools. If we kind of just zoom in here, we have the Glen Abbey Community Center as well as the Abbey Park High School. That's a very highly rated high school. I know a lot of my clients really try to select living around that area there. These homes here are going to also be quite large. You can find a few townhome options to choose from as well. But then if we kind of move more this way here, what you're going to notice as well is you have the golf course that the neighborhood is named after, Glen Abbey Golf Course. This is a top-rated golf course, typically where they hold the Canadian Open every year. It's a premium golf course where you can go see a bunch of celebrities play golf, but then also you can also go play in that area there. And if we kind of keep moving eastward, you're going to find a few great more schools. So you have the White Oaks Secondary School, which is a fantastic high school, as well as Sheridan College right here along Trafalgar Road. And this is also where you're going to notice the most amount of condo options to choose from is really along like this kind of section of Trafalgar right here. So if you're looking for condos, that's a great option to choose from. And this neighborhood here, whoops, if I back out and go, this neighborhood here of Floggerwood, which is kind of this dip right here, it kind of goes in, and College Park, which goes like this. These are some of the more affordable areas. So they tend to have those older side splits, back splits, and bungalows. Nice sized lots, not to mention. A lot of them have been finished on the inside just because they're a bit smaller with like the square footage of the home. They tend to be a bit more affordable. So I know a lot of families that are looking to move to Oakville and are looking in that low $1 million range. Look in this area here. If you look in that mid-$1 million range to like $2 million, you could find a lot of great options in like the Glen Abbey community over here as well. And really where you're going to notice the majority of shopping options, it's going to be mainly residential. Like you're going to find a few different plazas kind of located like along upper middle. It's going to be a nice little section where you have the Pump right here in Oakville, which is a great spot, as well as a Metro, a few other shopping centers. But really it's just residential neighborhoods, less walkability. Like you could still walk around your neighborhood, go for your like morning walk with your dog if you want. But you're not going to have like the ease of walkability as you would in like the southern part of Oakville, just based on what it was like to be developed around. Then if we kind of like go up here now and we look at the northern part, and we'll first look at anything south of Dundas. We'll talk about these communities here. So you have like the Bronte Creek area. We have Westmount over here. West Oak Trails is this community here. And we kind of go along this way. It goes actually all the way up past where my screen is going to kind of show at the moment. But here, again, you're going to find a lot of homes that were built in like the 90s, early 2000s. In this corridor here, except for right here, you're going to find a lot of condos to choose from, as well as right along Bronte, they really started to build a lot of condos right here. But other than these two pockets here, primarily what you're going to find again are those detached home and townhome options to choose from. Like I mentioned, built in the 90s, early 2000s. So unlike Southern Oakville, where it's kind of all unique, all has a different look and feel, this here is going to be completely kind of uniform with the neighborhood, which I know like some of my clients absolutely love that they all look the same. They look like, they always say it's so funny when they say it looks like the movies, right? Like the classic suburban lifestyle. It looks like the movies that you would expect to see, of everything kind of looking similar but slightly different here. Now, a few parks that you're going to want to check out. So first, you got Bronte Creek Provincial Park right here. That's separating Burlington and Oakville. Has a large ravine system right here that you can go mountain biking in, go hiking in. You have a disc golf course as well. You can go fishing as well. So great opportunities to choose from, as I know like the salmon swim upstream here in like the early fall time. But then also you have the Lions Valley Park, probably one of my favorite parks to go check out. Just like the changing leaf colors in the fall time, and a great option to choose from as well. You're gonna notice like there's going to be some shopping options to choose from, like along Upper Middle, kind of similar to like what the middle corridor of Oakville is, but it's going to be a bit less options still. Where you're going to notice a lot more options is kind of like right along this Dundas area right here. This is where you're going to find the majority of shopping options to choose from. Now, Dundas is like a major road that definitely does get backed up at times if we're just looking at it. We'll discuss in a second some bottlenecks. I actually have a way that I figured out that we can actually check them out a bit more in detail based on the traffic data. But a few other things you want to note, like if you're looking for condos, you're going to notice some high rises right here. This is a great option if you're looking to also bus, as they have a lot of public transit options to choose from, a Walmart, and a variety of other shopping centers to choose from. Then over in this section here, you got Joshua Creek, as well as Wedgwood Creek. Some great options to choose from, some top elementary schools, like you have the Joshua Creek Public Elementary School right here, Iroquois Ridge High School, another great option to choose from, and that's right beside the Iroquois Ridge Community Center, which is amazing as well. Then when you're living in this community here, you also have the 5 drive-in movie theaters, which is perfect for a date night. I know me and my girlfriend like to go out to check out. Now, before we move on, I actually forgot to mention one neighborhood that's the furthest east neighborhood. And I know a lot of like my families that are really looking to move to Mississauga, but not sure if it's Mississauga, if Oakville's the right community for them. A great community to look into would be Clearview right here. Helps kind of avoid that bottleneck that we discussed earlier. So it's a great community, mainly going to find detached homes, mainly built like the 80s, a little bit of 60s, 70s as well. And then you got those custom built homes that are occasionally popping up in that community there. Then if we kind of move up, the newest areas of Oakville is anything north of Dundas. So it's really right here, all the way up here. And what you're going to notice is you got the Glen Auchery, Joshua Meadows over here. So more west you go, so the more west you go this way, the more likely that the neighborhood has been fully complete or is like 90% complete, besides some like the corner edges where they're building some condo buildings to choose from. As I know, they're building like a condo building right here right beside that Fortino's that is just almost finished, but this neighborhood is done, right? So if you want to live in a brand new neighborhood without like that construction zone vibe, this is a great community to choose from. I know there's a lot of real estate options to choose from both detached home and townhome options. Then as you kind of move more this way, this is where they've started to develop, like the Joshua Meadows has just recently started. So you're going to notice a lot more construction area to choose from. But that also means like you get a little bit better deal, right? Because not everyone wants to live in a construction zone. So the prices kind of reflect that. At the same time, it's still a brand new detached home in Oakville, so it's still going to be decently expensive. Now, one thing I'd love to note about these areas here, it's a bit more walkable compared to like the central corridor of Oakville, just because like, well, they don't have like the downtown cores like the southern part do. Just the urban planning in general has definitely put more of an emphasis on like those mixed use buildings that have like condos above, some shops down below, as well as just each corner basically has a different shopping plaza. So you're no more than like a 10-15 minute walk away from some great restaurants, some shops, etc. That you can go check out and explore. Now, like I mentioned, this is something I actually recently figured out was this live traffic feed. So if you just go down here and you go to layers in Google Maps, if you're ever curious and you go traffic, you can actually see the live traffic. But Typically, I like to do typical traffic as this allows you to control it a little bit better. So first thing you're going to notice, the biggest red area, like we mentioned, is right here, kind of along the 403 in general. You're going to notice some like the main collector roads, like this road right here, which is Bronte probably. Yeah, Bronte's going to be backed up. Oh, this is third line. 30 line is going to get backed up. Bronte also is probably a little orange and red over here as well. To choose from. And if we kind of flip over to like, let's go like where rush hour traffic is, really get that traffic. We're going to notice the biggest bottlenecks. Like I mentioned, the 403, you have, yeah, there's Bronte showing up orange. Notice like Burlington, it really increases in the orange on the 403. Like I mentioned, like it's a bit more bottleneck. Other than that, the other area you're really going to notice the bottleneck, as you're going to notice, is Dundas is quite bottlenecked up during those rush hour times. And then the 403 kind of merging with the QEW gets bottled up. But overall, like most of this is green. So this is the great thing. Like once you pop off the highway in Oakville, it's pretty much not smooth sailing. You're always going to have traffic, but a lot easier getting around than some other areas like Mississauga or Toronto that is always have like 20 minutes of extra traffic to go through. So I know we just covered a lot in this video, going over everything of the different communities of Oakville. If you are interested in more of a detailed analysis, going through the map of what you and your family can expect about the exact areas that match your search criteria, send me and my team a message today to book your free relocation consult call. And if you wanted to learn more about Oakville, the next video I'd recommend you go check out is my video covering the pros and cons of living in Oakville. So you can find that video right here. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.